Hello traders, welcome to this video on the euro dollar and other financial markets. A lot of charts we're going to take a look at, and also the update on March's performance and results from our systems and methods from Elite Currency. My name is Chris Forsick. This video is from Elite Currency, and let's start with those charts then and take a look with the euro dollar first of all. So from my point of view, let's scroll back all the way here to what the March month looked like. We see that it is bearish, but there's also quite a big wick here at the bottom, indicating that there's a bullish bounce and some buyers stepping in. That happened at the 88.6 fib, when you put the fib from here to here. And that, of course, is an important bouncing support zone. If this is a triangle pattern, then price should make a rally up into the moving averages. And in that case, if this is a bearish triangle, this could be A, B, C, and then a D, E. So that's a bullish triangle, actually. If this is a bearish triangle like this, excuse me, A, B, C, D, E. And then if it is a bearish triangle, then it will go down at maybe the 50 fib. We would have to put a fib from this top to this bottom, and it could be the 50 fib at 115, for instance. Any fib, actually, the wave E could stop at and revert back down to within that downtrend. If you look at the overall moving averages, it is in a downtrend, but of course, obviously, the year's price has been making higher lows and lower highs. So it's definitely in a kind of a consolidation pattern at this moment. All right. That said, if it were to be a bullish triangle, this could be A, B, C, D, E, and break to the upside. For the moment, I'm leaning towards a bearish triangle. It also could easily be an ABC pattern finished, and a downtrend is going to emerge. So that's why it's so important for price to either break this support zone right here. This trend line has 3 hits, and if it breaks through the 88.6 fib and breaks through that previous bottom and breaks through the trend line, then it's back in a downtrend. We can put a fib from here to here and look for a target at the minus 272 target eventually. At parity, 100 and even 095. Now that breakout is a huge breakout on a monthly chart, don't get me wrong, so it could be, it could go like this, break, pullback, continuation, flag, and then follow through. It could take a lot of time before it maneuvers into such a breakout that it moves to those targets, but the potential is certainly there for price to, in time, make that swing lower. Whereas if we get a bullish bounce, then it is probably not an ABC, but rather a B, C, D, E. And if price makes a bounce, for instance, on the weekly chart, we're breaking above the high of last week, the bottoms from a while ago here, or either test the support and bounces or breaks above the long term, above these resistances and the 21 EMA, then that could indicate a bullish kind of push up into that 50 fib I mentioned. In that case, we are going to put back this fib I just put on from here to here, and it can go to the 38 at 114, the 50 fib, then the 61. Any of these fibs could be the target. Most probably one of these three, most probably one of these two, I suspect. Maybe this 38.2 fib as well. These are quite high. I don't think so, but of course, possible as well. Now, on a lower scale, on the daily chart, the question is this a 1, 2, 3, for instance, this is wave 4, and down it goes for wave 5. It did bounce at the 23.6 fib. Well, we will notice if, in that case, if it breaks this bottom, then we're in that downtrend. If, however, there is a bounce here or a breakout, then it probably is more of a 5-wave pattern that's finished. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Completing that wave D, A, B, C, completing the wave D, my apologies. Within wave C, there's probably the 5 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. Within that C of that bigger D, and then we'll probably see an A, B, C up within E. All right, so very important. Will price break above 1170? or will it break below 108 for a downtrend? Now it's a little bit in a neutral no man's zone. It's making a bear flag pattern, but it depends. If price breaks above that bear flag pattern, it's not a bear flag anymore, probably. Whereas if it breaks below it, it's still a bit, there could be a small push, but be aware of this bottom. Even a break here could still find support and bounce back up. So that breakout is tight. There's not much space. I would be a little bit hesitant about that, but maybe on a lower time frame, 5-50 minute chart, there could be a small push from 110 or 109. What is it? 109.80 here, 109.70 down to 108. 109, 108.80, 108.50, but those could be bouncing spots up. This is corrective, so it's being squeezed into pretty strong resistance, very strong support, and from my perspective, need a breakout to determine and see what the intent is here of the euro dollar. And to me, it seems like a coin flip. I would say 50-50. I'm sorry for the bad news, I guess, that I don't have any preference for one of those sides. At this moment, I'll be honest with you, at this moment, not sure at this very point if it's bullish or bearish. I rather stay on the sidelines. And yeah, that can happen. I mean, it's sometimes better just to wait and see. This is such a moment, in my view. That's life, and I have to wait before I would trade anything myself. It depends on the price patterns that I see. If I see a break and maybe a flag, and then a break of that flag, that could already be an indication that we're going down. If we see a push with a very strong close in reverse, then followed by a flag, that could maybe more of a signal that we're going up. So at this moment, I just don't see any edge, but I'll keep an eye on those patterns. I'll keep an eye on the support and resistance levels to determine later on if I do see something interesting. All right, pound USD. Yeah, it previous top held, of course, as we know. We were tracing ever since with higher lows and lower lows and lower highs, excuse me. And yeah, we've not only seen an ABC pattern here, but we broke through this bottom, in fact, due to strong dollar, of course. So let's take a look at this fib right here, right now. And it's on its way to the 50. Hasn't reached it yet. Well, in honesty, it looks like there's more space to fall at this moment on the pound USD. There's been some hesitation here. It's a bit of a consolidation pattern too, but if it breaks through the support, I would say a follow through lower. It does seem likely down to that 50 fib. And the WIS 9, we check the level exactly here at 128.25, 127.50 probably. Would be the next target to reckon with. A push up is possible. Maybe we'll make a triangle A, B, C, D, E like that. But if it does push up, then break of this trend line could indicate that. But I would be careful with price around this zone, as it could easily bounce at the previous top and retest the support trend line. If it breaks the support trend line, of course, flag on a lower time frame of continuation could indicate that downtrend continuation. All right. Moving average is very flat on this time frame, but very strong March candle, the euro yen. But difficult to break out with moving averages that are so trapped and so flat. So I would say a retracement and bounce likely, not an immediate follow through. I think it will have to, or most likely will go back to those long-term moving averages in an ABC pattern on this maybe 4-hour chart. We can see. I suspect it will go back to the long-term moving averages, but make a bounce there. Same for the pound yen. Dollar yen stronger, so it could make maybe a flag pattern back to the 21 EMA and bounce. I don't expect that pair to go back to the long-term moving averages, rather to the 21 EMA zone. Bitcoin seems to have BTC USD seems to have made 5 waves up, and a triangle pattern within 5 waves up within a wave A, I suspect. Then an A, B, C, D, E within a wave B. And now it seems to be in a wave C, an ABC pattern within a larger correction, probably of this being an A, ABC within B, and then down for C. Where this wave B can finish could be at any of these fibs right here. Even the 38, but that's a very shallow fib. I think and I don't expect that for the moment. I think the 50, 61, maybe even 78 or 88, or maybe even the previous top. Difficult to say which one of these will be used. I suspect more conservatively 50, 61.8 fib zone to be quite strong, but of course it could push up to 78 or 88 as well. And then I would expect a turnaround. If this is an ABC zigzag, it should finish at one of these 50, 61.8 fib, maybe the 38. If it's an ABC flat, it should go to the deeper fibs instead. That would create basically, here we had 5 waves finished. There were ABC pattern like this, a flat or an ABC zigzag would create the correction within this is maybe a wave 3 here of wave 5 of a larger wave 3, and we could have a wave 4, and then later on again a wave 5, but there could be some correction either lower or sideways. Now, on the daily chart, we see that this was an A, B, C, D, E pattern here. And on the 4-hour chart, we see that this A, B, C, D, wait, hang on. Sorry, here. A, B, C, D, E pattern right there. Wave A, B, and this is part of the C. And within C, it looks like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as long as price stays above the 50 fib and the long-term moving averages, it bounced the 38.2 fib. It remains in bullish territory, and this could easily be wave 4, and it will push up for wave 5 of C, of B. And, well, of course, if it breaks below the 50 fib and 61.8 fib, then that bullish analysis is incorrect and invalid. And maybe in that case, price is expected to drop lower with that bearish APC, and the bullish 5-wave pattern that I expect, it will not take place probably. If price stays above those levels, then it is likely to remain bullish in my view. And a breakout above the resistance trend line should send us higher to 50, 55, 60, or 65,000 for the moment in my view. Same thing for Ethereum, really. ABC pattern up, some space left, but eventually it will hit targets either here or higher that are noteworthy, and these levels could be serious levels to be aware of, and where price could find resistance. Gold is in a bullish breakout. Reached the previous top and sold off from that, but retesting the 21 EMA and finding some support there. This is looking like a wave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as long as price stays above the top of wave 1 here, or perhaps even here, it should remain bullish. And if it breaks out above the resistance, then that's not a good trend line, but yeah, then it could see a break, flag, continuation pattern to test the previous top again and maybe break above it. So it could maybe make it still a retracement back to support, but I would expect a bounce. So I'm expecting a bounce or breakout or break, pullback continuation pattern, and remain bullish on gold, considering the waves and price patterns here for the moment. This looks like a retracement. US 30, that's the Dow Jones, and yeah, it has basically made some retracement. Maybe not as much as I expected, to be honest. It broke through the support trend line, made a pullback, and continued lower. Found support a little bit sooner than I expected. I thought the long-term moving averages were at kind of the minimum target to keep in mind. Now, it could still get there. This is resistance here. If it does make a new lower low, I think it's again it could be a bouncing spot, and we'll probably retest the 21 EMA zone again. However, if it breaks above the doji of last week, the high of last week, then we could see a push up to the previous top, maybe some reaction there, and if there's a flag, I could see a follow through. If there's not a flag, but a close in reverse candle, then we might see a bigger retracement. Difficult spot, and I personally wouldn't be surprised if it goes flat and sideways for a while. A bit of an indecision, but let's see. Maybe I would give the preference to a move down, bounce at the bottom of the 21 EMA for a move up, find resistance at the head and shoulders level, move down again, and pretty much go flat throughout April. But it's a difficult spot, and certainly not very appealing in my view at this moment. I mean, of course, this is just the broader kind of US 30. Depends per stock, I guess, what to expect from each sector and each company. But um, maybe not a bad selling moment if it goes up again here at the previous top, in my view, because breaking that top is not easy, and there's a fair chance of some retracement after that, maybe to previous support levels. That's my 2 cents. It is not an easy spot. Some small swing trade maybe from the support up to the previous top from here to here intra-week could make some potential there, but not a lot of space or opportunities, I think. Same for the DAX, really, to be honest. Could do the same and then down again. It's been a little bit more bearish though, so it did reach the long-term moving averages. So I would say that the upside might be a little bit more capped, and the upside rally might be less enthusiastic than with the Dow Jones. All right, Euro odd, very strong monthly candle, looks bearish. I think if it makes any kind of retracement or bear flag, the top of the 21 EMA, that could be an interesting spot for a bounce back down. It is a very strong downtrend. It should continue, usually speaking, with such a strength lower. But retracement time might be useful. That's probably valid for all of these euro and pound versus Australian dollar and New Zealand dollar. Euro pound is going sideways, doesn't look interesting. Dollar CAD 2, Australian USD, previous top, strong momentum up, but difficult spot as well. All right, that's it for regarding the market. Let's take a look now some of the performances that we had. First, the good news, I guess. Athena EA is up 172% since beginning August, and it had a break-even month in February, which I didn't mind too much because of all the volatility that in the markets, financial markets, with the geopolitics and the outbreak of war in Europe, so in Ukraine. So that result was not that bad in my view, better than the loss. Last month, nice recovery and continuation of that uptrend that we've had with Athena EA with plus 13.5%. So I'm happy. Good results, and you can take a look at 2021, and we see a pretty positive record here from anything from plus 9 to plus 26. So only February was not as positive, but still positive. So Athena well on its way here again, and great results. The PAM, this PAM restarted with a different broker. That's why this is the first month. It's up 2.4%. Athena, great job. Let me continue with the SWAT EA. It's up 69% after a year and a month or so. Last month was nothing special with plus 0.24%. But still positive. All right. Then of the unfortunate news, no, thirdly, options for Marcardoni, the CNBC contributor in Italy, and it's available too as a course with signals to trade options. And as far as I understand from Marco, it's a low key way of trading where you only look at the charts on a Monday and maybe keep the trade management a little bit an eye in the days after on Wednesday, Thursday, but very low key, very not stressful. They had a positive month as well. Otherwise, unfortunately, ZUCA and Portfolio Method had a negative month, a pretty heavy negative month. February, they did well despite all that volatility. March, however, the tables flipped. The volatility really had a negative impact and a strong one. And these price volatilities and movements in March, due to all these events, um, global events, had a very negative impact, and they were not able to cope with it. So unfortunately, the Zeus Pam lost, I think, 40%, and it's basically profit that was lost. It's now up 21%. But yeah, of course, it's still sad to see that profit lost. It is still better to lose profits than own capital, of course. That's for sure. But yeah, it is a pity because the level we're at now, we were at more than a year ago, of course. So it bites, but it's up 21% at the moment still. The rental lost more and it's slightly down. It too lost its profits and a little bit more. And the portfolio method started recently in June, and it had a negative month too, and is down now minus 18%, a little bit more than Zeus minus 7. But we did have a recovery of about 15% with new systems introduced. So we're just seeing a rebound here on portfolio a little bit as well. But yeah, of course, those results have been yeah unfortunate, annoying, frustrating, and we'll have to see in time if hopefully the performance continues as before, and this was just a one-time event, which I expect, but we will see in the next months, of course, how that rebound continues. All right, that's it for now. So yeah, basically, ZUCA portfolio working hard on the rebound after a first serious losses in 2 years. And yeah, the market events, of course, explain that. These were really unusual movements and events that took place since end February. Fortunately, they had their impact on these two systems, but not on the Athenia options or SWAT. All right, that's the summary. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back. I'll be back next month with an update again in May for April, and wish you everyone a great week and great trading. Cheers, bye bye.